At first glance, Red Skelton seemed like the happiest man in America. He was the king of television comedy, with millions tuning in every week to laugh at his goofy faces, silly characters, and heartfelt closing lines. But behind that smile was a story of heartbreaking tragedy, personal demons, and a career cut short by forces beyond his control.
This is the untold truth of Red Skelton.
Born in 1913 in Vincennes, Indiana, Red never even knew his father, who died 2 months before he was born. His childhood was marked by poverty so crushing that little Red sold newspapers on street corners just to keep food on the table. But even then, he found something magical: the power of laughter. He entertained strangers with silly voices, pratfalls, and jokes he made up on the spot. By the age of 10, Red had joined a traveling medicine show, and soon after, the vaudeville stage became his home. Red's talent was undeniable. He transitioned from vaudeville to radio in the 1930s, where his characters and quick wit won over millions. Hollywood came calling soon after. He appeared in over 30 films, playing everything from slapstick clowns to romantic leads. But Red wasn't satisfied with just being a movie star. Television was the future, and that's where Red truly became a legend. In 1951, The Red Skelton Show premiered, and almost instantly became one of TV's most beloved programs. Each week, Red transformed into unforgettable characters. A Freddy the Freeloader, the hobo with a heart of gold. A Junior the mean-whittle kid. A mischievous child always getting into trouble. And Clem Catadlehopper, the country bumpkin who never quite got things right. Audiences adored him. He could make you laugh with a silly face and cry with a single, heartfelt line. For nearly 20 years, Red was television royalty. On TV, Red was a wholesome family entertainer. But off stage, he had a secret tradition. After filming The Red Skelton Show, he'd gather the audience and perform what he called the dirty hour. It was raw, uncensored, and very adult, jokes far too risque for television. To Red, it was a release valve, a way to let off steam and show the side of himself CBS would never allow. For almost 2 decades, The Red Skelton Show dominated the ratings. But in 1970, everything changed. CBS launched what became known as the Rural Purge, canceling shows that appealed to older or rural audiences, even if they were still successful. Despite being one of the network's longest-running and most beloved programs, Red Skelton was suddenly out of a job. He was furious, bitter, and heartbroken. It felt like Hollywood had turned its back on him overnight. Red retreated from television, but he never stopped creating. He turned to painting, specializing in clowns, each one carrying a different emotion. Collectors couldn't get enough. His paintings sold for thousands of dollars, and Red made millions from his art. It was ironic. While the world forgot his comedy, his clowns became his second career. But even as he painted smiling faces, Red's personal struggles continued. He battled depression, loneliness, and failed marriages. The man who made millions laugh often spent nights alone, haunted by memories of his lost son and his canceled career. His paintings of clowns weren't just art, they were reflections of his own soul, laughter hiding pain. When Red passed away in 1997, at the age of 84, the world remembered him as a comedy icon. But when his will was revealed, it contained a shocking clause. Red demanded that his old shows never be rerun. Why? Some say he wanted to control his legacy. Others believe he didn't want the world to see him grow old on screen. Whatever the reason, it meant generations would grow up without ever seeing the genius of The Red Skelton Show. When Red passed away in 1997, at the age of 84, the world remembered him as a comedy icon. But when his will was revealed, it contained a shocking clause. Red demanded that his old shows never be rerun. Why? Some say he wanted to control his legacy. Others believe he didn't want the world to see him grow old on screen. Whatever the reason, It meant generations would grow up without ever seeing the genius of the Red Skelton show. Red Skelton once said, "If I can make people laugh, then I have served my purpose for God." And he did. For decades, he gave America laughter, warmth, and joy, even while he carried unimaginable pain. His characters, his paintings, and his philosophy of kindness live on. Red Skelton was more than a clown. He was proof that even the funniest smile can hide the deepest heartbreak. If you enjoyed this look into the life of Red Skelton, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And tell us in the comments, which Red Skelton character was your favorite?